you're with me in another of my local state forests. I've got a really exciting dinner idea which I've really been looking forward to. And I'm also going to be testing out a new product that I've been sent on loan to test and review. But I pulled up at this spot to try and find somewhere sunny. The product I'm looking at is a solar panel and a charge controller, which means I need sun. And sadly, same story as ever. There is rubbish everywhere. As usual, first job when I get to camp is going to be cleaning it up. I didn't forget about you, Kimmy, I promise. You're gonna come out? Okay. You gonna come say hi to everyone? Nope. Just gonna sniff all the ground. I'll get her to say hi to you guys later. I think she's looking for a spot to pee. That's better. I might have to bribe her with a carrot. Look who's here. Feels like Groundhog Day. There's a whole lot more rubbish than I thought there was going to be, as usual, which I'll put in the van in a little bit. But I just wanted to highlight the type of character who leaves rubbish in the bush, and also a few interesting finds. So, like sunflower seeds, they're missing their phone case and a tent pole. They enjoy vapes, multiple vapes, lots of vapes, and also a full 7-Up, which I'm going to enjoy later. So pretty stoked about that. You may have seen there's a full blow molded table here. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of room in the van to take that with me, so sadly I'm going to have to leave this here in the bush, but the rest of the bags I'm going to be able to get into the front of the van, and the campsite that I'm staying at is 5 k's away and it's got bins there, so yeah, I'll be able to get rid of all of that there. A little dirty. Oh. The Optisolex SolarBag 400. To accompany it is the Optisolex SolexBrick S1. Haven't really figured out exactly how it works, so we're going to do that now. From what I understand, it is a solar charge controller. Kemi, you stay in the van. There's too much food rolling around on the floor. I don't want you munching on bush snacks. SolexBrick S1, 99.5% MPPT and anti-shadow. Universal compatibility, mix and match different solar panels, and durable and waterproof, IP68 and 10-year warranty. It all sounds pretty good, but I'm still not sure what it actually does. Anyway, let's plug it in and find out. This is marketed to be pretty much a plug-and-play system that anyone can use. So, you know, you don't need to have a lot of expertise in 12-volt electrics to make this work. Now, that's obviously great for some situations where you do want something just quick and easy to plug in. And, you know, with this, everything is pre-terminated. So the only thing you really need to do is connect this to your battery with the supplied cables, which it comes with, and you've got solar. Now, one thing that I did notice about this kit straight off the bat, this may have some internal protection, no problem. But this cable, without a fuse, is not protected. Ooh. She found a half-eaten corn on the cob on the floor. Corn on the cob, and she's trying to eat that, so I'm going to put her back in. As I was saying, this is designed to be a plug-and-play kit for anyone to use, anyone who doesn't really know what they're doing with solar. It's designed that way. If you want to do a safe, proper installation of this, you will need to fit a fuse in line with the positive cable. Otherwise, these cables are not protected. That is important. Now, I've got an Anderson plug in the back here, which I've run to my battery, and I've made an adapter which goes Anderson to MC4, which is allowing me to eliminate the need for those cables because I already have it hooked into the battery. This is also fuse protected, which is, as I was saying, super important. Have you done? You're a pink pony girl. Da, 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 da. I don't know the words. Is that rolling? Oh, I just I'm gonna need the big table, I think. It's actually spotted like it was here. Come on, big table. And the sun is behind the van, so, oh, I'm sorry guys. Cop that. That's gonna go there. You guys are gonna go over here, and I'm gonna go there. Kimmy, do not jump out of the van. No, you're too old. If you sit nicely, I'll give you a treat later on. Okay, solar blanket. I've done a number of reviews of solar products in the past, so okay, the first thing I'm noticing is this thing is absolutely gigantic, but for its wattage, it is one of the lightest on the market. So yeah, we're just gonna plug it in and see how it goes. Really cool feature actually. This is something I do like about the product. You've heard me carry on about the fusing and stuff like that. You actually can zip it into 2 halves. So you've got 200 watts on this side, 200 watts on that side, and they're separate panels. We're gonna plug one in and see what we get from it. Basically 200 watts, and it's about 5 p.m. in the afternoon, and we've just gone into daylight savings. So a week ago it would have been 6 p.m, which is quite late, and there's not a whole lot of sunlight. So not the best conditions, but that should be charging. Let's have a look. 60 watts. That's not bad. It's not terrible. It's fairly impressive actually. The efficiency of that solar charge controller must be very good. I'll tell you what, Kimmy is tougher than she looks. She jumped off the back of the bloody van to go sniffing for food, fell down here, face planted, slid along the ground a little bit and shook it off like it was nothing. That's like the equivalent to falling out of a, I don't know, like a 4-story building. Bloody tough little dog. I've had to clip her into her driving harness just until we get until we get done with this review and go to camp, because I don't want her to fall off there and actually hurt herself. You're in timeout now, Kim. I wrote down some points. I wrote some points of things that I wanted to talk about this product. So the solar panel. What I really liked about them was the fact that they have inbuilt USB charging. So if you come around the back of the panel here, just fold it up, you've got USB-C, and then you've got high-speed USB-A and normal USB-A. So if you just need USB charging, just take the solar panel, or half of one. So that's really cool. The SolexBrick, 3 things that I like. The size of it is tiny in comparison to pretty much every solar charge controller I've seen. I do like that it's all pre-terminated. It means that it's very easy to hook up, as you saw. The only thing that you would do in addition to that, if you didn't already have a connection to the battery, is connect it to the battery with a fuse, of course. And the third thing I like about the SolexBrick is it is IP68 rated. I'll insert a clip here explaining what IP68 is. Obviously when you have it on the outside of the van or wherever you're going to use it, bit of rain, no problem, it's sealed. That does also mean that it is non-serviceable. But does that really matter if it's got a 10-year warranty? Probably not. Also, I thought the mascot was quite cute. Kind of reminds me of IKEA. Good job, I'm happy about that. He's good. But overall, I'm very impressed with this kit. It's pretty sleek. It seems to be fairly well made. There's no blinding issues of quality or anything like that. The bag is quite nice construction. Look, in essence, it's a really good product, but is there anything that actually sets it apart from the competition? Maybe enough. If it's priced competitively enough on release, then certainly it's going to be the obvious choice. It's just a question if it comes out more expensive than its competitors. Are you willing to pay that for a slightly sleeker product? That remains to be seen. We're going to do some cooking with the air fryer again. I've got a really exciting recipe we'll try out tonight. Okie dokie. I'll pack the rest of this up, we'll get the rubbish, we'll go to camp. So if you haven't guessed already, I'm making schnitzel and also a mushroom sauce. Good girl. Oh. Chippies first. Oh, that schnitzel's really hot. As it would be. Wasabi slaw. It's quite nice. Nice mushroom sauce. Oh, I almost forgot. My little prize. It's pretty good. A little bit annoyed that I forgot to bring something sweet to have for dessert, but yeah, I'm just going to watch a show on the laptop and cuddle up with Kimmy, and we'll see you in the morning. Want your breakfast? Good morning, guys. I actually slept really well last night. It did wake me up when it started raining, but that was actually the thing that sent me back to sleep as well. I know of a spot near to here which has a pretty good view, so I think we're going to drive there, and I might make some breakfast when we get there. Have some coffee as well. Absolute cracker of a spot, as you can see. It's Heaton Lookout, and there's some sort of power station over there, and the ocean in the distance. I haven't really ever worked out actually what you're looking down on. I guess I could do that today. Okay, so we've got the Optisolex panel and brick plugged in, and It's pretty much in full sun. Actually, it is in full sun, but it's quite low. So I've got it on the side of the van. At the moment, it's putting in 170 watts approximately. Quick pause here in the video just to mention a couple of points that I actually forgot in the original filming. How I had the solar panel hooked up on the side of the van with the straps is not actually its intended purpose. The straps that it comes with are designed so that you can wear it like a backpack and use it like a bag, hence the name SolarBag. And although I had it strapped up onto the van that day, that's not actually its intended use. If you use it flat on the floor like I've got it here, or if you've got it on the bonnet of your car or the windscreen, you're actually going to see a much better efficiency out of it, so it's designed to be used that way. I need to mention as well the warranty period. The SolexBrick S1 comes with a 10-year warranty. The SolarBag 400 is a 3-year warranty. One cool thing that I found out about the SolexBrick S1 after chatting with the team there is that you can actually hook up multiple SolexBrick S1s in series. Now this eliminates the need to size the controller and the panel individually and gives you much more flexibility in case you want to grow your system later on down the track. I've written down a few talking points. At only 7.5 kilograms, it is extremely lightweight. Also the split zipper system, totally new. I don't know yet whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I suppose the flexibility that it gives you to split the system and give one to your mate, or you know, take one if you don't need that much power, or if you need to be even lighter. I guess that's pretty cool. All of these cells are N-type cells, which means they're higher efficiency, longer lifespan, generally better quality. The ease of setup, it's basically, you know, plug the solar panel into the SolexBrick, SolexBrick goes into your battery. That's it, you're done. As I mentioned yesterday, the lack of a fuse for the battery main cable is a little concerning, but as I said, this is a beta unit. Yeah, the only other thing I wanted to mention was the size of the charge controller itself. This is probably one of the smallest charge controllers I've ever seen. It's supposedly rated at 50 amps, and to give you an idea of the size difference, my current 50 amp solar charge controller, which I have for the panel on the roof, lives in here, and it's huge. Plus it needs a whole lot of ventilation because it gets quite hot. So for this thing to be this tiny, it's quite impressive. N-type solar cells, most of the competition are onto N-type solar cells now, so you know, you're getting good efficiency with all of them. If it didn't have N-type solar cells, then yeah, you would certainly give it some marks down for that. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with it, and I'm going to leave it to charge up a little bit more of the battery, and then we'll make some breakfast, I think. Croissants. I got jammy fingers. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope everyone's well. Till next time.